Hi, today I'm going to show you how to bypass the factory reset protection on locked Huawei devices with EMUI 8 from the latest updates. So there are several bypasses out there on the internet. I'm probably also going to introduce you to some of them. However, due to latest EMUI 8 specific patches, these bypasses have somehow been invalidated. So credits to Huawei for being kind of great at patching these bypasses. But there will always be some way, hopefully. So what we need for this specific bypass is we need 2 internet access points. I'm going to use 2 mobile phones, whereas only one of them need internet. The other one, it doesn't matter if that has internet or not. It is just very important that one of them at least has internet. So that can also still be your Wi-Fi hotspot at home and the mobile phone. 2 Wi-Fi hotspots that you can turn off both of them. It's just important that at least one has internet and that you can turn them on and off. So you need probably access to the plug, the power supply, or whatever. So that is everything you need for this bypass. But I'm also going to quickly introduce you to the other bypasses. Maybe these still work for you based on your EMUI version. So here we have a Huawei Y6 2018 locked device. And we can see that by me going through the setup, I'm just going to activate here the Wi-Fi called main Wi-Fi. And currently all the steps that I'm doing are not very important. So whatever you have to do or whatever you do, that is totally up for you, because we probably will reset it once again for ourselves. So we're going to go to main Wi-Fi and I'm going to connect to this device. There we go. And I'm just going to put this one on the side now. So we are connected to the internet, and going through the setup process here, we can see that this device is locked. And here we have it. This device was reset. To continue, sign in with a Google account that was previously synced on this device. So unless we sign in now with our Google account, we cannot access or use this device. So it's kind of just like an expensive paperweight. So probably some of the bypasses that you've seen online is that when you click here and you hit here to continue, but it gives you all these issues here that you need at least somehow to enter an email or phone number. Just do it a couple of times, and then when you return, it will bring you to the Google Services pages here, which we just will ignore for now. And now here comes one of the few tricks or bypasses that you've might seen throughout the whole journey. That could be here, for example, that going here through all of these things, we can open a web browser inside of these embedded frames or something like that. And most of the time, the goal of these bypasses is somehow to get access to the share function, because when we have access to a share function, then we can also access email. And as soon as we have access to email, then we also have access to settings. And I mean, when we have access to settings, then we can reset this phone correctly without it. So here, for example, in this embedded browser, we have access to YouTube now. We can open the YouTube link here. But we can already see that this is loading way too long. So this embedded browser has every other link disabled other than Google itself. So here, this is one that you sometimes find this is not working. So the other one that you usually find online is that when you come all the way to this screen, that you then go to the forgot password. And then you're coming here again to a web page. Then by pressing account change request, and here on the statement about Huawei ID and privacy, you come again to one of these embedded browsers. Now, if you are able to select here by long pressing and getting here the share, well, then you're already kind of done and you just can fast forward to nearly the end of the video where I have access to the share. But with the latest EMUI updates, we don't have access to the share. If you have access to select here, to selecting, but not to share, what you can do is then press here on how to contact us. You can hit here contact us, and then you're getting to a website of Huawei. Now here we can scroll all the way down again, and then we have access here to the followers on YouTube. Then we finally get access to YouTube. Then we can select whatever video we share. And let me just turn off the volume here. So now here, for example, we don't have here the share function for email, but nothing happens. We can try again. Email. Even if I click on the YouTube link and it opens in the YouTube app and I still try to share by email, nothing happens. So here in this embedded frame or browser, Huawei went that far to even block this share function. So one final idea before we actually get to the real bypass here is that we can search on YouTube for Gmail Android app. And by that we come here to the official Gmail app for Android. And that has a very nice link here. So here now we are on Google Play in the browser. This is not the Google Play app. This is in the browser. So what we then could do is open in Play Store app. But as we can see, we are blocked here again. So it is a very, very limited browser. If you come to this point and you select this long and you see the share, well, you just can once again fast forward because the whole point of this bypass is to get access to the share function. Until we have access to the share function, then most of the steps are the same. But yeah, so if you come to this point where you don't have access to any of the share functions, we have to go all the way back. So how do I go now all the way back? That is here with later, skip. I'm not going to set up anything right now because now it will throw me back all the way to the start screen. So here we are back in the start screen. So now the steps that I'm going to do in the beginning before connecting to the Wi-Fi, they don't really matter. It's first after we connect to the Wi-Fi that the steps become important. So now I am still connected. I'm still connected to the Wi-Fi here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit on next. And we're going through the setup here. And this, what's going to happen now is very, very, very important. That we hit here and we just like try to go next here a couple of times again. So that we have all these error messages. Do it at least twice. Okay, so now that this has happened, this allows us to unlock some special feature very soon. So now we go back again and back to the Wi-Fi page. What we're now gonna do is we bring in our second phone or our second internet hotspot that we have. Personal hotspot, I'm just gonna disable turn here. So this one is called second Wi-Fi. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn this Wi-Fi off and I'm going to turn this Wi-Fi on. Now we should soon see that the main Wi-Fi is disappearing and the second Wi-Fi should appear. And here we have second Wi-Fi. So we're not gonna connect straight away to this Wi-Fi. I'm gonna insert the password here. And we're gonna go to Show Advanced Options, Proxy, Manual, and we're gonna insert here some proxy credentials, which are abc.com and 8080. So what this does for us is that it tries to connect. So even if this had internet, it would try to route via abc.com with port 8080 to proxy it. But since this is not existing, it will eventually fail. So now we can see one device is connected, it is connected, but it doesn't have internet access because with or without internet access, because of the proxy, it will still try to reroute somewhere into oblivion where it doesn't have internet. And very soon it will give us a notice that there's no internet connection. Couldn't connect to the internet. We're gonna try again. And now, very important, it may be possible that what I'm going to do next needs to be done fast because I've seen before that Huawei will remove this pop-up. So I'm going to click OK here now. Okay, so it seems like that we actually need two devices with internet connection. What we're going to do here now is we have to go back all the way because what we expected here is some kind of hotspot pop-up here. Since that didn't come, not even like after 2 times, we have to revert all the way back to the start. How do we do that? I'm just gonna forget this internet access. I'm gonna enable this one again. And at the same time, I'm just going to log into my local Wi-Fi hotspot. Forget. So both are now forgotten. This one we totally ignore now. We're not going to use this one because this doesn't have internet access. So what we need is we need two Wi-Fi, two Wi-Fis or two hotspots that have internet access. So while we also do this, that we're trying to access now our Wi-Fi, I'm just going to restart this one. So I just disabled my second Wi-Fi hotspot here, which is my local Wi-Fi router. And the only Wi-Fi currently available is my phone here. So once again, we're going through all of this step. And I'm very sorry that, the video is gonna probably be a little bit longer than expected, but figuring all of these steps out took me already over 10 hours. So once again, we have the main Wi-Fi. I'm gonna connect to the main Wi-Fi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and connect. We're connected now. And again, we come here to verify your account. Once again, we're going through the setups here. We're hitting it a couple of times. And we go back to the Wi-Fi setup screen. So I'm going to turn off my main Wi-Fi network here from my phone, and I'm going to re-enable from my computer my local Wi-Fi hotspot, which probably will take up to 30 seconds now to boot. So hopefully the main Wi-Fi is disappearing very soon. And it's gone. And now we have my main local hotspot here. So what we're going to do here once again is I'm just going to sign in with my password. Okay, so my password is in. I haven't connected yet. And we're going to type show advanced options. We're going to go to manual and proxies. And we're going to log in with hostname abc.com and proxy port 8080. We're going to connect to it. So now this device actually has internet connection, but it's trying to forward or relay all internet connection to a proxy, which will go into oblivion, so without internet connection. I'm going to hit on now next. And once again, we will come to the screen where it will tell us with the pop-up that it doesn't have internet connection. Couldn't connect to the internet, and we're going to hit once again. So now, after we hit it once again, we should hopefully see here an orange pop-up that says the internet, it couldn't connect to an internet with an I dot, and here it is already. So I've accessed it now, but usually you should see it after you hit it a second time on next. So it's very fortunate because Huawei, they are very quick in showing that, and I still haven't verified which conditions need to be met in order to get this hotspot. But here is the very basic resume of it, is that you need 2 hotspots that have both internet access and that you can turn off and on and switch between them. And yeah, also when you go first time with the internet connected device, that you hit the next and then go back and then switch over. So now that we finally have access to this one, next steps is going to be a piece of cake. So what we're going to do is click on learn more, and thereby we get now access to the high care privacy notice. We hit the next and we agree to whatever they come with us. So now it's trying to look something online, but it can't because it's still connected to the other hotspot that is proxied. So what I'm going to do now on my computer, I'm turning off this second hotspot, the FBI, and I'm going to re-enable the hotspot on my main device. So now we can see the Wi-Fi here is gone, so it's not connected to any Wi-Fi, and in a couple of seconds it should be reconnected to the main Wi-Fi here again, and there we see it's connected now again to the internet. What it's currently doing, it is fetching all the regions from the internet which high care of Huawei is providing service to. So here we get, do you want to switch to the United Kingdom? Doesn't matter, we just say yes. Then we go through all of these pages, and then we click here on start. We allow, and settings, it's all good. We go back here, and we allow all of these. So now, if you are lucky, you should have here some kind of hotline which you can access. If you have that, click on the hotline so you somehow come to the phone dial or to dial some number. However, we are not that lucky that we need to go via a third way. What we can do here is, and just bear with me, okay, so that was a big fail because they just locked us out again. We're still connected to the main Wi-Fi, so that means we probably have to go through the whole setup again. As you can see, Huawei, they're very good at patching these bypasses, but eventually we will get through it. And if you manage to get through all of these steps, lucky for you, then you just can fast forward always to the next steps when they arrive. So I'm now all the way going back. I'm gonna turn off this one. I'm gonna turn on my main Wi-Fi. So the main Wi-Fi here should disappear and my local router should appear. Here we have it as FBI surveillance van. Just to be sure that we're also getting the full experience again that we require, I just forgot the internet access point. Oh yeah, sorry, this is some personal password. And we're gonna connect with proxy. So once again, abc.com, proxy port 8080, and we're gonna connect to it. So now we are connected again to my local router. I'm gonna hit the next button and we're gonna fail again. We just failed, and maybe the pop-up is there yet, otherwise we have to press next again. So I'm just giving it a couple of seconds. Okay, it's not showing up. Oh, here it is. We're gonna hit on it, learn more, and we're going through the whole setup again. Now the issue here is, of course, it doesn't have internet access, so once again, from my first, I need to turn off the Wi-Fi network and re-enable this one here so it has access to the internet. So it should hopefully be now connected to the internet. And what we then can do is we go to warranty policy, service centers, nope, send for repair. Okay, so it is the privacy issues that we then have to access, because that way we get access to a browser. And this browser, however, is different, because here we then have access to contact us. And scrolling down here, we have access to a phone number, which, pressing on it, opens the dialer. Now that we finally have access to the dialer, and hopefully with all the other steps that I demonstrated in the beginning, now it's all the same to go through these whole steps. So as soon as you reach this, it's going to be very straightforward and easy. First of all, we're going to create a new contact. This contact, we're going to add some kind of, where is it? Address, there we go, address. And I'm just giving it some kind of address in a big city. Doesn't matter where. Okay. And we're going to save this. So now this contact, we have access to maps. We can skip this part. And now we're coming here to some place. So you could instantly press here on share, or you just go to whatever points of interest there is here on the map, so that you have this share method. Because now you can press the share button, and here we have it, Gmail. This is what we've all been looking for. So we hit Gmail because we want to share this address with Gmail. Skip all of this, and we're going to add an email address to this. From all these options, don't choose Google. Because as soon as you're going to use Google, you're going to be thrown all the way back to the setup page. So I would recommend to, specifically for this, create an Outlook account or use one of your existing Outlook accounts. So I'm going to use Outlook. And we see that we're coming here through all of these sign-in pages. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to sign in with one of my Microsoft accounts that I just made for this. I just need to figure out what passwords and stuff I use there. Okay, so I'm just quickly going to sign in here. Okay, so I'm about to sign in with my Microsoft account here, Outlook. Then I'm gonna hit next, next, and now I'm gonna select the rabbit turtle. Okay, that doesn't matter. Then I'm gonna select take me to Gmail. And now we have it here. We have Gmail open with our Outlook user that then tries to send some kind of address or something like that. But here comes now the interesting part. Now that we are open in the compose here, we can hit the three dots here, go to settings, and once again press three dots here, and then we go to manage accounts. Then we hit accounts here. And there we have it. Now we are inside the setting systems and going here to system, reset, and reset all settings. As soon as we hit this button, the factory reset protection will be gone. And there we have it. Now if I restart the device, we should be able to see that the setup screen has disappeared and that we are straight logged into the home screen of the Android device. And again, very sorry that this has turned into a 30 minutes video instead of 10 minutes. But again, there's so many things which are not controllable that you just have to trigger and grind through the whole process until you actually reach the point. And there we have it. Now we successfully bypassed the factory reset protection, and now you can set up the phone as you desire.